Let's see. Sorry, guys. I was having some fun times trying to get some stuff locked in so that I could not have to worry about building too much. I'm close to being done building. Um, just some news popping this morning. If you haven't seen that, Des Reed is out. So I was fixing that. And Isaac Brown and Duke Watson for Louisville are both going to be active. Um, excuse me. The report I read was that those. Good morning, David. The report I read was that those guys are the Louisville running backs are going to warm up and attempt to play. I have very, very limited um, looks at them. I might fire a shot in one of these single entries on Isaac Brown, potentially. Not a full decision on that yet. Morning, Robert. So I got to put these teams in that I've built already, and then I'll keep looking. What I will say is on DK, heavy amount, I have either Craver or Le'Veon Moss in pretty much every team. It seems like, based on some of the information I've been seeing, a lot of people are going to gravitate towards Trinidad Chambliss. I'm completely fading him. I've pulled back on some Maeva. I have a little bit of Maeva. I've pulled back on Shapen a little bit. I do have some. My heaviest exposures are definitely Brendan Sorsby, Fernando Mendoza, and then Haynes King with Taylon Green and a little bit of Maeva as well. Otherwise, I have game stacks that include like Shapen. He's in a lot of my lower dollar stuff, but ultimately the stuff that I am playing a lot of is going to be in the $5 stuff, and you are going to see me enter those lineups heavily. I have a very small pool that I'm playing. I'm playing LaShawn Williams in almost everything at 3,900 with Highshaw out. He's a lock for me. Just too good at that price tag. If you want to pivot, you can pivot to Rodney Fields. I have a little bit of him at Oklahoma State, but realistically, I'm playing pretty much 4 running backs for the most part. Oh, nope, 5. Excuse me, I lied. Jeremiah Love, Bryson Washington, Wayman Jordan, LaShawn Williams, and Le'Veon Moss. I'm playing those 5 in almost everything. Love those guys. This is all DK stuff. The FanDuel stuff, I'll tell you who I'm overexposed to here in a second. Mario Craver, I'm playing a good bit of Surratt. I kind of split ownership between Surratt and Omar Cooper because of how much Mendoza I'm getting. Similarly, splitting kind of between Brennan Thompson and Anthony Evans. And then I'm kind of mixing and matching that last spot on lineups, but it's pretty much a lot of the time you've got one Mississippi State wideout, one Indiana wideout, and then Mario Craver, and that's a fairly good constant for me on the DK side. And then I'll mix and match in some Mekhi Lemon and some Jeremiah Smith here and there. On FanDuel, I'm going to tell you right now, I feel overly exposed. I feel somewhat naked right now. I'm playing a ton of Lenora Sellers, Jackson Arnold, and Dante Moore. I actually am curious about something. Somebody type this in the chat. How many rushing yards do you think Lenora Sellers has through 4 games on the season? I actually asked my buddy this last night. He wasn't even close, and he guessed low. Because it's not a lot. But I'm overly exposed, I feel like, to Sellers, Arnold. I feel good about being exposed to more. But I like Sellers and Arnold. I feel a little icky being overly exposed there. Heavy exposure to, I would say, a running back, Le'Veon Moss for sure, and then the guy that I would say I'm playing that you shouldn't is Carson Hansen. I just have a feeling he has 3 touchdowns. I played way too much, probably. Yeah, I have way too much if I was to give it at 7K. Wide receiver, I'm heavily exposed to. Man, I really spread out wide receiver. Probably Ryan Williams. Huh. I would say Ryan Williams I'm most exposed to on on the DK side. I mean on the FanDuel side, probably. I just feel like I'm really heavily exposed there. Maybe Anthony Evans or oh no, it's Cam Coleman. Cam Coleman's my highest owned wide receiver on FanDuel. It's not close. 7K. I think he goes for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Just overly exposed in that opinion. So let me start building my DK teams and putting them in. Let's see. What's up, Jay Whitty? Jay Whitty, I'm heavily overly exposed to Lenoris Sellers on FanDuel today. Care to take a guess how many rushing yards Lenoris Sellers has through 4 games on the season? I don't feel good about it. I can tell you that. I'm way too exposed to him. So give me a guess. How many rushing yards Lenoris Sellers has on the season? I'll tell you in a second. But I already know the answer. 300, Jay Whitty. That's funny. I wish. So I'm playing way too much Lenoris Sellers. He's 8,200 for a good reason. He's playing Kentucky. You would think that's a good environment, especially at home. Lenoris Sellers on the season currently has 17 yards rushing. 2 games with negative yards rushing. He has 17 yards through 4 games. I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest with you. Jacoby Lane, still questionable. I don't know how I feel about that one either. Yeah. So 17 yards rushing for Lenoris Sellers on the season so far. So that we'll see. That's a we'll see right there. I'm gonna play way too much though. I just am there. I wish I had player props. For some reason, I can't bet over unders in Louisiana on player props. I think it has to do with the Kayshon Boutte player props thing where he was logged in as his mom while he was at LSU. There's been some weird stories while at LSU, I tell you. So I can't play player props in the state. Normal people would say the great state, but I will not. I will abstain from saying such things. Let's see. First of my 20, yeah, dead serious. I can't play player props for college in Louisiana. Kayshon Boutte, it was a big story. He gambled like $200,000 on his own props, which was funny because he sucked. Well, for the most part, he was not as good as he should have been. We'll say. All right, let's get. So as I said, this is kind of like the lock play for me. I'm just gonna pump LaShawn Williams in there. I love this pairing, Sorsby and Williams. That's probably my favorite tandem in any game to pair together. It's a great play. With Des Reed out, I will tell you, you can go to he's 3,600. This is going to beat Jules Goff. He's going to be the starter for West Virginia. I don't particularly want to go there. I would just rather play LaShawn Williams. I think there's just good plays all around there. And then I think this kid ends up getting a ton of run. I don't know if y'all have seen Caden Durham is questionable or doubtful, allegedly. I think Jawan Johnson probably gets most of the run here against Ole Miss. I'm just kind of stay away from that. Yeah, I think Jay Whitty. I think he took his overs in some games. Core plays today. I would say Sorsby, LaShawn Williams are my two favorite at quarterback, running back. My favorite two quarterbacks are Sorsby, Mendoza. I'm playing a grand total on DK of 5 running backs. Jeremiah Love, Bryson Washington, Wayman Jordan as kind of a pivot, LaShawn Williams, and Le'Veon Moss. That's my 5 running backs. And then wide receiver wise, most of the time I'm going to build. I'm going to jam some Jeremiah, but for the most part, it's going to be Mario Craver in any lineup that does not feature Le'Veon Moss. And then I do have some weird teams. Then Mekhi Lemon is a good play. I'll have him in some lineups. And then I'm going to have one of the Indiana guys usually. And then I'm going to have one of the Mississippi State guys between Brennan Thompson or Anthony Evans. And then Elijah Surratt, Omar Cooper. And those are kind of my ways to go. If I really want to get different, I'm going to go to Cam Coleman or Chris Bell would probably be the two most guys. On FanDuel, I'm playing a lot of Cam Coleman at 7K, and it feels disgusting, but I'm going to do it. Way too much Cam Coleman on there. Like I said, I've got some stuff on Fan. I have way too much Jackson Arnold. Like when you're trotting out a bunch of Jackson, I think I built 45 teams on FanDuel. I'm fairly certain I've got like 15 of them with Jackson Arnold, Cam Coleman stacks, and a lot of them with Sellers, Ty Simpson. I got a lot of Ty Simpson. Like it's just a lot of weird stuff. I don't know how to feel about it. All right, we'll see. I just threw some jam balls in there and hope something sticks. So first team in the Saturday kickoff. We're not going to ask Jay Whitty what player to play in this lineup this week because we already kind of know what we're doing. For the most part, I've kind of pre-built some of this. And we'll see. Notre Dame. I love Jeremiah Love this week. And I also love building these high-end running backs in here. I've done some things. This is in this team, by the way, you can change out this Bryson Washington, Mario Craver spots. I do have 2 iterations of this. The second iteration is entered in something else. Those 2 spots right here, Craver, Washington, you can do Jeremiah Smith, Le'Veon Moss in this lineup, which is actually kind of funny. But this lineup just fits very well together. All right, let's go. Brennan Thompson. Boom. Like that's my core play lineup right there. That's my favorite lineup. That was the first lineup I built once I got to my core plays, and I'm sticking with it. No doubt about it. So that one's definitely a keeper. All right. Let's see here. I hate how they set these things up in here. I absolutely despise the way that they build this thing. All right, let's do a second team. Usually, I'll tell you guys somewhat a glimpse behind the process here. So usually what I'll do is because of me being a hand builder is I will lay out my important entries or what I want. And basically so on DK, I just lay out the higher dollar stuff, like the 20s and the 12s and the 5s and whatever. Like the $1 stuff is usually my weird I'm gonna game stack the literal entire Mississippi State Tennessee game, and then have 2 spots left over to throw in. Like that's what I usually do in the $1 because it's more like a weird spot. But like the bigger stuff, I will basically decide, okay, I want these quarterback pairings, and then I'll build around those. And then FanDuel, similarly, I'll go, I want this quarterback with this quarterback. I want this quarterback with this quarterback. And then I'll just go fill in the rest of the plays. Because once I have the quarterbacks decided, I can kind of decide, oh, do I want to stack this guy? Like Haynes King, don't really care if I stack him. But I will stack plenty of, but if I go into like a different, like a single, like a low dollar entry or something, then sure, like stack Haynes King, whatever. You want to double stack Haynes King, go right ahead. Get weird with it. I think it's beyond reasonable to get really weird with it. Speaking of getting weird with it, let's do it. I was debating. This is the team I was building. You know what? I'm gonna wait on that one. I was gonna say that's the team I've been building, but I want to wait and see. Because maybe I'll change my mind on that team. All right, let's go. This is going to be the if I think Jaden Maeva actually does something team. I'm a little bit nervous about Maeva in this spot. Okay. I don't know, man. I've seen that people love Trinidad Chambliss at quarterback. So if I'm not playing Sorsby Mendoza, the rest of my guys I like are I'm playing Haynes King, Maeva, and Taylon Green as my secondary options. And then I do have some Blake Shapen. I have a good amount of Blake Shapen. I debated getting to Jackson Arnold or playing some Jackson Arnold on DK here. Like I said, on FanDuel, I got a ton of Jackson Arnold. And I have no issues playing Jackson Arnold with you want to play Jackson Arnold with Cam Coleman, I have no issues. Like I'm perfectly happy with that. It's one of those situations where like, how do you get away from Sorsby and Mendoza are priced too good, but I only have them paired up so I have 7 like higher dollar teams and they're only paired together in 2, but they feature in 1, 2. Those 2 quarterbacks are in every 6 out of the 7, one of the 2 quarterbacks. To some extent, each week there is a reason they are chalk. Like that it's kind of how it, but we're going to say they're chalk, but the chalk is going to end up being, I could legitimately see these guys being 20%, one of them, I think Sorsby comes in under-owned maybe. I was going to say Mendoza but Mendoza's playing Iowa, so I could see that going under. So like there's ways that this thing goes under. I just don't know who goes under. Let's throw Washington in there. So I want Le'Veon Moss. All right. This is my this is what I will call the PPR merchant team. It might not score a touchdown, but it might have 30 catches between the 3 wide receivers. So that's why I'm going to play it. Anthony Evans. And that's going to leave me with, you would normally say Brennan Thompson, but this is the one that I'm going to switch off to Ryan Davis. So Ryan Davis at West Virginia. I mean, just look at the double-digit targets. I think he can easily get me he could get me towards the 20-point range. Clear top option in that pass offense. I don't know. It really could be Jay Whitty, but I think people are going to want to pay up for Taylon Green, Haynes King, and then literally, I think Trinidad Chambliss. I know, hell, I'll say it. I saw I think it was Stochastic's tweet that said that their top quarterback leverage play in tournaments was Trinidad Shambliss. I was like, please and thank you. Like, y'all go ahead, play Trinidad Shambliss. I'm out. I'm not playing him. That's just where I want to be, is that type of thing where let them pump Trinidad Shambliss and I'm going to be out. I'd rather fade, if I have a strong take on it, I'd rather be on the fade spot. But it's also why I kind of like to build all my stuff before I get to it. So I'm trying to see. Got to keep an eye out. Oh, how good was that? Yeah, this is the target hogs, man. Yeah. I don't trust them. That's why I would rather sit here on stream and build stuff right in front of everybody and just go, here you go. Like, this is what I'm playing. If you play this and I dupe it, then so be it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just don't, I don't trust I trust people that tweet stuff, but it doesn't change the way I'm playing. But a lot of that's because I'm setting my priors, we'll say. All right, that's team 2. So like, y'all are gonna see, here's the 5 teams here's 5 teams I'm playing in the $20. I'll show you the 5 that I built. I don't care. Like, you want to dupe it. I mean, not gonna worry about it. Doesn't do anything for me. Yeah, I feel for him. It's tough, man. It's tough out there. No doubt about it. Let's see. So I wanted a second Haynes King team. I feel like if you really wanted to go against the grain, because I think Haynes King and Maeva get some steam, I feel like playing both of their running backs is a fun way to like play Wayman Jordan and Jamal Haynes with like the other quarterback, like with the other two, with Sorsby and Mendoza, is a fun way to get different, because everybody's already going to play Bryson Washington or maybe I'll build one of those. I'll build that in the dollar. I have no shame in my game. I'm gonna play the dollar tournament because why not? It's fun. It gives me more entries. I'd rather play. Realistically, if you have a lower, what I would tell you is, if you have a lower dollar amount, like, number one, don't play more than 10% of your bankroll in any given day. But I would tell you, if you have a lower dollar amount, I would rather play, let's just say you had $400. I would tell you to play 20 entries in the $1 rather than play one $20 entry. I would 100%. Like, do not shoot at the $20. The $20 is a madman's game with 150. I'd rather you 20 max or play single entry. You're better off. You're better off playing 20 max or single entry, because most of the sharks are going to play the $20. And the advantage is going to be very slim pickings in this thing. No doubt about it. So this, I'm playing a little bit different. This was going to be an Isaac Brown team originally, until Pete Thamel decided to say he's going to attempt to play. The words attempt and my money do not go together, so I refuse to do that. So I don't want anything about an attempt. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I like Jacoby Lane. Ooh, I didn't think about this. So I didn't think about Eric Rivers being there. I do think Eric Rivers has a good game. Way too much of a risk. If this was the dollar, sure, throw it in there. Like, if this is a cheap entry, go right ahead. This is more of a more expensive entry. I actually don't hate Hank Beatty. Hank Beatty coming off that terrible game, had very good games before this. I think it's a good spot for him. And we get that kind of bring back here with Beatty and Jordan. I like that combination in that game. That's saying that USC runs out to a lead, and then Beatty kind of has to play catch up a little bit. You get Craver, who I think is, Auburn has gotten absolutely smoked. That's where Isaiah Satania plays. They've gotten smoked from by the slot wideouts all season long. Baylor, it was Cole Wilson, I want to say, out of the slot. So I think we see Craver with a big game here. You get your Surratt Mendoza stack. You get Love, who's just a fabulous points per point play, raw points play, and then Haynes King, who could run for 3 touchdowns. I've kind of come around a little bit more to the Haynes King experiment this week. So, yeah, I think he's just such a good raw projection. So I like this personally. Really can't complain about it. That's for sure. So yeah, I think I don't mind leaving some salary on the table if I can get the guys I want. All right. Let's see. I've got 2 entries left. I have one that I'm done with, or 2 entries left on the this one. I haven't fully dove into the night slate. Have I run projections on the night slate? I think I have them in. Yes, I have run projections on it. Okay, so I can at least somewhat speak to it. That's good. All right. Question is, do I want to play? I do have a good Sorsby Mendoza team that has Isaac Brown, like a team that I like, that has Isaac Brown in it. Do I want to play that in the single entry? That's gonna be a tough one. Oh, let me check the weather. Hang on. Let me go check my weather guy. I'll find out real quick on the if the Georgia Tech game is going to have a lot of weather. Let's go to weather, college football. My weather guy's saying a slim chance of a shower in the Georgia Tech Wake game. Utah, West Virginia, showers are likely at some point in the game. Tennessee at Mississippi State, 10-mile-per-hour winds. Yeah. I do not have I have a Discord that I'm subscribed to, but I do not have my own personal one. Sorry, David. Yeah, I'm a full bore. I'll trust Kevin Roth about the. Okay. So per Connor Morissette, who covers the USC Trojans, Jacoby Lane is out for warmups. He's dancing and moving around much better than last week. Ding, ding. So Jacoby Lane is a go. Last week, he was kind of barely moving around during stretching. I feel pretty good about that. I do have plenty of Jacoby Lane out there, no doubt about it. My work phone keeps getting a phone call every freaking Saturday morning that says spam risk. Don't know why. That time I had it on the right thing though. I hope so, guys. I don't complain. I enjoy y'all's company though. We're just I'm just enjoying the ride, man. I'm having fun. This is fun for me. This is what I do. Like, you basically are staring at what I do on a Friday night and a Saturday morning, what I've been doing for the past 5 years. And it's just fun for me. I enjoy I could sit here. I almost was late to work the other day because I was sitting here after the stream just playing with lineups. And I looked up and I was like, crap, I got to leave. I just love the infinite amount of combinations that my brain could come up with. I love this. Like, it's so much fun to me. So remember, I'm trying to spread my exposure in the Saturday kickoff here. like I don't want to be completely different off the board, we'll say. I just, it's I you'll notice like I'm very tight with uh these pools in this tournament specifically. I'll get wild in the other stuff, but the other stuff I'm gonna have to win the freaking tournament in order to make the money back, pretty much. But I'm gonna go Taylor Green in one. Oh, uh, you want to go over on Wayman Jordan? Here, we'll talk about him because he's going in this team. We'll talk about him. So I think that it is a very good way to play USC on the road here. I think a lot more ownership goes to um, Maeva and the Maeva, Makai Lemon, Jacoby Lane because it's so stacked together, right? So a way to get different here is to go Wayman Jordan, in my opinion. I think that there's more ownership concentrated to that middle portion. I think everybody likes to play the concentrated pass game offense that is USC, and they'll kind of ignore Wayman, and they'll get to, I would say, in this range. I think Keywan Lacey probably draws more ownership. Um, Maybe you could see Tyree Walker, but I doubt it. I don't think Duke Watson's really going to get that much. I think everybody, for the most part, is going high dollar, low dollar because there's so much low dollar. Not necessarily. I don't think you have to get USC pieces at all. It just so happened that that's what I've built the last two teams. I have in the five, so I would translate it out, and I will build one. Remind me, I need to build a. I want to build a um, Jamal Haynes, Waymond, LaShawn team. I do want to build that as something different. I'm going to want Craver in it as well. Give me Jeremiah. I guarantee I can fit there. All right. So I'll build that here in a bit. But that's something I definitely want. So I think that's where those guys are going to come into play. And then it gives me, but so I'm going to have ownership on them. I have two teams in this tournament. So 40% of my lineups are going to have Wayman Jordan as a pivot option. I think he's 100 yards and a touchdown type guy. He's the only guy I really like in that mid range outside of Le'Veon Moss. So I kind of want to get a little exposure to him. I think for the most part, I'm going to end up on your Jeremiah Loves and your Bryson Washingtons with LaShawn Williams. I think that's the way I like to play it the most. If I'm playing one entry, I'm playing one entry with that. But I need to get some exposure to somebody else with Desmond Reed now out and with both Louisville backs having the kind of they're going to give it a go or they're going to attempt to play. I just don't want to deal with it. So I'm just going to ignore those guys and say, I'll go Wayman Jordan. I like him on the road. I think there's ways that maybe I get leverage and some other stuff out of it. And I like playing it that way. Oh, by the way, did everybody get to watch the TCU game last night? Because right now I hate Sonny Dykes and I like Eric McAllister, but he apparently pulled a hamstring in warmups. So if I would have gone with my I want to be different team last night and played the Chandler Morris, played Chandler Morris and Dwyer as like the differential guys, like, hey, let's get off the chalk and play Jordan Dwyer. Yeah. I thought about it. I was like, okay, like Chandler Morris, Jordan Dwyer, like my differential plays were good. It was just, I got killed by Eric McAllister. He apparently pulled his hamstring in warm up and walk through on Friday, but nobody says anything. Like, what are you gonna do? Can't control that one. All right, this is the only time I want to play a Mega Blake right now. I'm gonna play him in this one team. I want Mario Craver just because the slot has absolutely dominated Auburn. Cannot preach that enough. And I'm going to feel extremely overexposed to Brennan Thompson, but I do like the kid. Yeah, Levitt. I'm a Levitt fan, man. I like Levitt. He just hasn't. He needs another. Yeah, he finally went, man. I like Sam Levitt, the player. So I like him. I've been on him for a bit. So that's why I'm there. Let's see. All right. Let's build this last bigger one. This is one that this is the one I'm struggling with. Oh, it's not that one. I already built that one. It's this one. Yeah, right. Um, exactly, Jay Woody. Exactly. I did bet. I did bet TCU money line, and I got paid out because they were up 14. And then I bet UVA money line. 30th anniversary. I'm from there. I couldn't not play it. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna have a Haynes King Sorsby team. I just feel like I need one. In order to spread ownership. Well, LaShawn Williams, like I said, I'm just locking him in every team. Hoover was what's good, Metro. Hoover was okay. I think he does not have a good connection with Dwyer. He was trying to chuck it to him and he couldn't. And then once Dwyer's just not playing well, they don't have a run game. Like there's a big risk with that team. There's a very low floor with McAllister not on the field, very much so. Bryson Washington and Le'Veon Moss. I want in this. Why is it? I'm not used to. I usually build on my phone, so I'm not used to this. I will say, if you want a just absolute crapper, I can't do it. Haven't done it, but I want to. Warren, I think you can. I don't want to because I'm banking on his rushing capability. And if you wanted to pair, Metro, I play Tyson every week. By the way, I love the kid. Similarly with Levitt, but I really like Jordan Tyson. Warren, I think you can pair him. If I was pairing him, it's with Cyrus Allen. I'm just preferring in most teams not to because I'm banking on his legs being the determining factor here. Now, you want to talk about fun. We're getting fun. I don't have a Jeremiah Smith team, so I built one. And then I'm going to have why do I have to have so much Brennan Thompson? That makes me nervous. And then I'm going to play Malachi Fields as a differential play from that way I get off of the Jeremiah Love stuff. What is that? That is one Brennan Thompson. Two. Okay, so I have three Brennan Thompson teams. I can bet on the games. Yeah, I can bet over-unders and spreads. I just can't. And I can bet basically anything that's not a player prop, which kind of sucks because that's what I know best. I don't know games as well. I mean, I know games as well, but I'm usually not the greatest sports bettor. I think Fields is a fun play. I think Fields is a very fun play. I think he's a good way to get different in that game. I'm big fan of that of that game environment there. So it is both season, so it does matter. No matter the price, Evans or Thompson. I preferred Thompson overall from a raw points projected. See, Warren, what part of Virginia? Because that's where I'm from. That's where I grew up. I lived there for 21 years, 22 years before I moved here. JB. I'm just not a Hudson Clement guy, my guy. Oh, cool. Very nice. I have family that lives in Virginia Beach. I am from Richmond originally. Well, Hanover, technically. Very nice. JB, you trying to sell me on Hudson Clement. My buddy's selling me. My buddy last night, Brian, who does the Sunday night show with me, was trying to sell me on Jay Sean Platt over here for 3K. I was like, you've lost your mind, buddy. I think there's 3K plays. I mean, you could get in there if you needed to. I don't necessarily love it. My favorite cheap shot that I don't have the stones. Oh, why would you play Hudson Clement when you can play Justin Bowick? I'm a Justin Bowick fan. I know he's been banged up. I know Clement's playing a little bit more snaps lately. I just think, but I'm more of a Bowick guy. That's just me. I was a big fan of him coming into the year. That's just more there. I'd be more inclined to go that way. Wetgin's actually a heck of a return, man. That's an interesting shot play. That team's terrible at throwing the football, though. Yeah, I'm just looking at 3K. 3,100, I think, is a fun price for Bo Jackson, though. I think I like Bo Jackson. The real Bo Jackson, Tecmo Bowl Bo Jackson, and this other Bo Jackson. Oh, guys, what do I play? All right, let's enter this $5 because I do have a team that I want to play in that is mostly built. I need to throw some more like fun. Anything that I build that I don't end up using in the good stuff, I use in the dollar. Like I'll make like 5 iterations of a team. So like that team that I built with the PPR merchant, the team I call the PPR merchants with Ryan Davis, Anthony Evans, Mekhi Lemon with Maeva. I have a team also where like it goes Cooper, Thompson, Love, Lane, Thompson, Jeremiah, Haynes. So like the Lane, Thompson, Jeremiah, Haynes is going to go into a tournament, but it's going to be a cheap tournament. I just like throwing stuff in there for fun. I'm actually kind of excited for LeVar Arrington to be the guest picker. I really thought they were going to go weak with the guest picker and go with Keegan Michael Key. Not that I dislike him, but I just feel like it's been played out at this point that he acts like James Franklin. Cool. Like I've got it, man. Give me something different, please. Thank you. I want to see somebody new out there. Let's get Taylor Green. Let's click on it. Yeah, let's work. There we go. All right. And let's go Haynes King. I want to get Jeremiah Love. LaShawn Williams. I can't not play. I just don't have it in me not to. Le'Veon Moss. I do like a good bit. I think Bishop's a solid play as well. I do have some Bishop, but I'm going to stick with Moss. I just like playing him. All right, so this is where I've got to so far. I'm not going to play Mario Craver because of this team, because of who's in this already. Ooh, this could be a fun one to go Cam Coleman on. I don't want to go Malachi Fields because I already have Love. Thoughts on Shapen Evan Thompson? Love it. I run it back. So, Warren, I love the Shapen Evans Thompson stack. I have 2 iterations of that. So, I have 3 ways that you can do it. I'll let you choose which way you want to do it. I have all 3 entered in lineups. You can do Shapen Evan Thompson, run it back with just Brazel, and then play around with it. The next level up would be run it back with Brazel and Bishop. And the final boss, as I would call it, is to play all of those guys and add Joey Aguilar in too. And then you got 3-man and a 3-man on both sides of the game. I have all of those as fun little funsy plays because that's just full sicko. But yeah, that's what I would do. I think it's Brazel, Bishop, Aguilar are your options. Brazel being my favorite, Bishop being my second favorite. And then Aguilar only if I'm going full game nutness. I think you just kind of have to buy into the fact that Brazel's playing out of his skin right now. What happens if I do this? What happens? I think he's going to end up being the high-priced guy that goes under-owned in tournaments this week that everybody says is overpriced and ends up paying off, and I play way too much of him on FanDuel and it pays out. I just have the feeling. I think he ends up outscoring everybody up top, maybe even Jeremiah Smith. I just think it's possible. Anything is possible. Shout out Kevin Garnett. I don't like basketball, but sure. Good for him. I think Canyon's an interesting play. I think Dallin Bentley's an interesting play. I don't like where this leaves me, though. I don't particularly like that. Let's get another Ryan Davis team in here. Why not? I really don't like this range. Let's go Ryan Davis. Let's do what we were doing earlier. Ryan Davis, Anthony Evans. What does that leave me with? Forget it. Let's go Brazel for the fun of it. I don't have much I don't have very many Brazel teams, so I have no problems doing that. It gives me something different at least. That's got a little upside to it, I'll say. Let's do it. I don't mind playing that. Now, let's see here. All right. Oops. Where is sport? Let me add an entry, create new lineup. Okay. Yeah, get out of here. Let's see here. Let's go. This is going to be my Ava Mendoza team. This is that secondary team that I was saying that I wanted to play with Haynes, Jamal Haynes. I have it built off to the side with Jeremiah Smith, Jamal Haynes, Le'Veon Moss, LaShawn Williams, Jacoby Lane because he's warming up and good to go supposedly now. Jeremiah Smith, Brennan Thompson, and Le'Veon Moss. Perfect. And then Fernando Mendoza. Enter. Thank you. All right. That's in. Okay. Let's go to contests, entry fee, or sport, whatever. Let's get this one done. This is the last one I got there. And then we'll do the $1 weird stack. All right. We'll do that Haynes Wayman thing on the other one because this is my. Oh, I put that one in already. There we go. Okay. So this is the tricky one. So I do want this to be a Sorsby Mendoza. I do want that. Oh, by the way, small tip here in case you don't do it. Running back, Warren. I think I prefer to spend up at running back this week. A small tip. Make sure it's very similar to season long. Make sure you put the guy who plays in the later game in the flex, in the super flex, in case you need to end up changing something. Just very important. Very important. Bryson Washington. So this is where I need to decide something, right? Is I'm tempted. Maybe this is the lineup to do it in, I guess. It's just $5. Who cares? Evans, Craver, Surratt. And that leaves me 7,800. And that's where I'm at right now. Now, I can't do anything about him. So I guess technically speaking, the only other way to play this is to go. Like, where do I go? Maybe I get to Jeremiah for one of these spots. I don't really want to come off of any of these wideouts. I like all the wideouts. I actually do like them. I love every player in this thing, except I don't know whether Isaac Brown's going to be healthy or not. That's the $1 million question. We got new injury news. Dylan Wade is out. This is Kansas UCF, so nothing much to see there. Kansas State, UCF. Kansas State sucks. All right, Louisville was just going through warm-ups in shirts and shorts before heading into the locker room. Isaac Brown and Duke Watson were actively participating and seemed to be just fine. Update entry. It's going in, boys. It's going in. Yeah, I'll hit some yeah, I can do it for FanDuel. That's no problem. Yeah, I'll show y'all some FanDuel lineups here in a second. I'm gonna throw that one team in that we talked about. Just because I wanted to show how you could get a little bit different. I actually have a couple of teams that I could throw in here, but I'm not going to. All right, so let's go. Sean Williams. I want Jamal Haynes and Wayman Jordan. This is my let's get different at running back pivot plays there. Then I'm going to play Jeremiah Smith, Mario Craver. All right, what does that leave me? 61. So we're going to probably have to play the cheaper guys at quarterback. Let's go. You know what? Let's go Sorsby. And I mean, you can't not play Sorsby. Love Sorsby. I think you can play Miller Moss at 5,700. I know it's ridiculous, but I think you can. That would give you 64, which I don't really like. But what about Shapen at 66? That leaves you at 5,500. So you could play Omar Cooper. You could go down even further. You could go Evans right there. Then you have 600. 7K doesn't really do a lot for you at quarter. Oh, could go Jackson Arnold for the lulls. Do you really want to go Blake Shapen though? I don't know that that's where I want to go. What about? I don't love Omar Cooper in that spot. That's the thing. Like, I like that. I like that core. It's just these three spots. What do you want to play? You know, that's the tricky part. That's the tricky part. These are not optimal plays. Yeah, I feel like I got to say that. These are not optimal plays. Do not play them. I want Jackson Arnold. I like Jackson Arnold. Can I play Jackson Arnold and 6,800? He's with what, 48? Let's play Blake Shapen. I like this actually. I like this actually. And Eric Singleton. Could play Eric Singleton in this. You could either play Eric Singleton or Evans. I think both are legitimate options in this spot. Evans, I have no Singleton, so let's play Singleton for the lulls. Just to be way different than everybody else. Oh, yeah. Well, never mind then. If that's the case, let's just have some fun. Let's go Mendoza. There you go. We're gonna have fun. Mendoza can run for 2. Why not? Get a little bit of pricing. All right. Is that enough fun for that? Let's see. I have one more team that I want to throw in. I don't really care about the Cooper Thompson. Actually, I do want that team. Okay, hang on. Sorry. I legit have one team that I actually do really want in this. If I have, I don't even know if I have enough entries left or room for entries left. Oh, I'm at 19 entries. See, I only had one entry left. I have to use it. What would I be if I didn't use the 20th entry that they allow me to have, you know? All right, give me another Maeva team. I want Jeremiah Love. I want LaShawn Williams. Notice LaShawn Williams is every freaking team. Oh, Malik Elsey's out. That does open up some value for Illinois. You could be right on Bowick or on Hudson Clement or Justin Bowick. I've never quite been the Hudson Clement truther. In all honesty, it's just haven't been. Is anybody else going to be fully sedentary and kind of melt into their couch for the next 12, 13 hours? I did wake up at 7 and went to the gym and lifted before I went live, so that I wouldn't feel like such a slob when I sit here for the next however many hours just watching TV with 4 games on at once on full high alert mode. This is going to be Mendoza. So yeah, that's the one I wanted. I think that's all the teams I am allowed in that. I think I max entered it, which is fine because that's all the teams that I have. And there goes the Roomba. All right, hang on. Let me share this tab instead. Let me shut the door for a second. Sorry. Be back. All right, we're good. All right. David, you wanted it. You got it, brother. So, quarterbacks on FanDuel. I am playing my favorites. It's going to be nasty. I like Sellers and Dante Moore a good bit. Um, I have a lot of Jackson Arnold. I hate to say that. I have a lot of Jackson Arnold. I built 45 lineups that I entered into the tournament on FanDuel. I got a little overzealous last night, and I went all in and just started playing. Um, I love game stacking the Alabama Georgia game with Simpson, Stockton, double Williams and Bernard with Branch. Uh, like I said, Lenore Sellers has 17 yards rushing on the season. I don't know. He's 8,200. I'm going in on him. Dante Moore, I think, is being underpriced because they haven't had to throw the ball. I love the cheap guys. I'm mixing in plenty Mendoza. I just ended up playing way too much. I think Lenore Sellers, Jackson Arnold, Blake Shapen. I have a little bit of, but it's mostly like Moore, Arnold, Sellers, Simpson, Mendoza. And then there's like little sprinkles of Haynes King, Taylor Green, and Jaden Maeva. But there's just a lot of those like Sellers, Moore, Arnold teams with Mendoza as well. I literally have a string of Arnold teams with camp. Like, so if I was to say what my favorite, I like this stack a lot. I don't know why. I have a lot of Cam Coleman, and I have actually the where is that team? It's in here. So this is going to look like extremely nasty. And I don't advise you to play it or anybody to play this. I'll be honest. I don't advise anybody to play this because it's probably not going to work. But I do legitimately have a feeling that it could be very good. Don't know why. I love this team. I absolutely love this team. I don't think anybody should like Cam Coleman. I don't think anybody should like Carson Hansen. I don't think anybody should like Jackson Arnold. I think Mekhi Lemon has a massive amount of issues behind him today because of that. But I just have this feeling that this team is very good. I mean, what more could you ask for than to win something with an Auburn and Alabama stack where they just pay off? But I love the build on this. The process is great. I think Carson Hansen comes in ridiculously low owned. And I just absolutely love him at this 7K price tag. I just have this feeling that he scores multiple touchdowns. He hadn't scored all season last year. Let me look it up because I think he had double-digit touchdowns when I was far from a fan. Trust me, I'm a Rocco Beck truther through and through. I love the guy. Yeah, he has got 0 touchdowns on the season. He had 116 yards rushing last time out. He's utilized in the pass game a little bit. I just think Carson Hansen gets there today. Last season, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games with double-digit rushing touchdowns, and he had a game with 3 touchdowns against West Virginia. This feels like and lines up to be against Arizona, a very similar spot where I think 96 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground is well in play. Now, he could burn me, but I think 2 touchdowns on the ground is something that we could see very well in this spot. I just feel it. I feel it coming. What's his name? What did he go by? He could feel it in his plums. I could feel it in my plums that Carson Hansen scores 2 touchdowns today. This is a heat check. That's a heat check. I don't think it's going to happen, but as a heat check. If you want the flyer play of all flyer plays, I took a couple shots. I don't really particularly love this, but I'm willing to do it. Nate Shepard, I think, is a interesting flyer at 5,700. If you need to fit some real high dollar stuff in around it, and you're trying to play something off the wall, you want to get some Jeremiah Smith and Jeremiah Love together. He's a good option to make that happen if you want to go with a reasonably priced quarterback. So there's a lot of ways to make some fun stuff happen. I do like Kenyon Sadiq, cheap at 6K. It's just, consider what you're in. I have way too many Oregon doubles, like Dante Moore with the Corey. So how many of those do I have? Because I have it's Dante Moore with Decorian Moore with Kenyon Sadiq, bring it back with Nick Singleton. And I'm gonna say I have 1, 2, 3. I think I have 4, 5. I think I have 5 or 6. So like 10% of my teams are those. So yeah. So that's I like I said, I just pair those things up and then I go, all right, I like that. And like when when I told you all the other day when I was building or talking about the player pool and I told you those game stacks, I literally typed in those game stacks into my file and then just built teams off of those game stacks. So I have a team that is literally the Washington Big Three of DeMond Williams. I have one on each site. I do have one team, and I don't think it's probably a great idea, but I did it anyway. That's DeMond Williams, Jonah Coleman, Jeremiah Smith, and Denzel Boston. I have one team on each site that is built just like this. It's very easy to get home to land the plane here too. Go Cam Coleman. I'm going Cam Coleman a lot. Can't help it. I just mentioned Shepard. There you go. This is a good spot to deploy Shepard. Oh, who does that get you? Who do you think? The same guy I keep playing everywhere. I mean, tell me that team doesn't have some legs. It feels ugly, feels nasty, but if Washington's going to win this game, the 3 guys in this picture are the reason why. So, if you're going to play Washington stack, that's it. That's the differentiator. So yeah. If anybody's got anything, let me know, chat wise, or any questions or comments, things you need to know. Quickly glancing at the late night. Kyron Drones, oddly enough, is a great price we're talking DK here. Let me go DK late night. Entry fee. Oh gosh. I have too many entries sometimes. Let's do this real quick. Oh, thank you, David. Yep, I like both, I like both. I love the FanDuel stuff. I feel like I just am able to just let it eat on FanDuel. The problem I have with FanDuel is their reward structure. I do NFL, but I only play on DK because their reward structure, I care about the rewards points. Like I play more money on FanDuel with the entries I play, and yet my rewards points are 10x better on DK. That's the thing. And so and I hate the cash game structure on FanDuel, the double ups, the multipliers, like that type of stuff. It stinks. So I don't know. Plus, I think some of it is that most of the content is geared towards DK. So then people end up playing more DK. I like both. I play on both. You can see I play a ton of volume on both. There's better tournaments for this. Like obviously, I'd rather play the $20 on DK for 50K up top than play the $15 for 20K up top on FanDuel. So it just depends. I think most people prefer FanDuel, but I prefer DK. But I understand both sides, certainly. I don't think you're out of bounds to be, off for either. Like, look at that. Seller's too expensive. Chris. Yeah. Very nice, David. Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Um, so man, do I really want to I think Kyron Drones is a reasonable play here in this late slate. I'm gonna have a hard time not going there. Uh, I will have some like game stacks of that Alabama Georgia game. I'll probably have some Memphis FAU stuff, NC State stuff. I mean, NC State's defense is terrible. It's hella terrible. So it's kind of hard not to want to go there. There's a lot of good cheap value. Maybe Katron Allen looks good at 5K by comparison to 8,100 for Nick Singleton. I'd rather play Katron Allen on DK here. I don't love the price tags on the. I'm not playing an FAU running back. I can tell you that much. Not playing Kevin Riley. Carson Hansen's priced too far up, kind of out there. Man, this is a tough running back slate. There's some ugly running backs, like pricing. Hollywood Smothers is a clear good play. It's just, can you pay 9,200 for Hollywood Smothers? That's tough. Man, is a tough slate. I mean, maybe Seth McGowan at 57 is a good play. That's what I'm saying. Like Ishmael Mahdi at 51 is probably a very good play for that price, all things considered. But I know better. I'm not gonna say play Ishmael Mahdi into the big orange like Dominique Orange. Like that's stupid. Wide receiver wise, Easton Messer's a great play. He's gonna get a ton of volume. Decorian Moore, Zach Branch, very good play. Uh, the FAU guys are nice and cheap. I don't have any problems getting there for sure. Definitely the FAU guys. Asad Wasim, Donovan Green for Virginia Tech would be my preferred stack partner, and Armani Winfield's too cheap as well. So I think you can get up to those. I would not play Aiden Green, 0% there, no doubt about it. Where's the cheap guys? Give me Armani Winfield because he's emerging there. I like that, and I'll take Donovan Green to pair with him, and that should give me enough room to afford the backs that I want. Let's go Hollywood Smothers. Let's go McGowan. And then that's kind of going to give me the room I need to play around the way that I would like. I don't hate going Veltkamp. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I also don't hate going Rocco. I don't hate going Dante Moore. Let's say we want to go Dante Moore. I think that's in play. Let's go Dante Moore. Let's go. Shoot, you got plenty of money. You can go 8,100. That leaves you with 6,800. Yeah, there's tons of money. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I like that. Yeah. Let's play Nick Singleton, and then we'll play Easton Messer. So like I don't mind that at all. Like those are kind of the guys that I would look at. I think Jeremy Bernard, the Bama guys, both Bama guys, any of the Decorian Moores, Zach Branches. I will have a small team that is I'm going to jam in the both pass games from Alabama, Georgia. I love the over in that game. Hopefully that hits. I got a decent sized bet on that. So we shall see. But best of luck, everybody. Let me know if you do have a question. Let me know. I'm going to check one more time. Make sure there's no injury news popping up. We got JMU notes with Ayo Adai being a game time decision, but that doesn't really matter for this slate. That matters for me personally. I think Isaac Brown's probably a go, so I feel good there. I don't mind taking shots there. Darius Taylor's out today against Rutgers. Not that it matters for anybody in here. It's more of like a season-long college fantasy thing. I think Corey and Moore has a big game today. Or they're not playing Rutgers, they're playing Cal, I think. I think Messer has a big game. Oh, if you want to watch a underrated game today, obviously it's on the channel. Go watch that preview and that will be a fun game to watch as the day moves on. You can throw it on a little side TV or something. The North Texas, South Alabama game. I think that'll be a fun one to keep an eye on there. So good luck, everybody, today. Hopefully we can take something down, and we will see how things go. And I will be back tomorrow night. We'll recap. This is a heck of a good slate of games. We got good games every week, it feels like. Just haven't had that lull week where it just stinks. So hopefully this thing lives up to the hype. Ultimately, I will say I'm taking here. I'll even just tell you exactly who I'm picking in each game. I think Illinois knocks off USC, upset. Notre Dame looks pretty good. I think they're probably going to win that game. I'm not sure on Tennessee, Mississippi State. I just think it's a high-scoring game. I'm going to root for Washington. I think Ohio State probably just has too much for them. Ole Miss, I think, beats LSU, even though I have a degree from there. I'm a realist. I never bet with your heart. I like Auburn against A&M. I don't know, sneaky suspicion. Indiana, I like at Iowa. The night slate is a fabulous one. I like Oregon at Penn State. I like the Road Boys. I like Georgia at home to beat Alabama. And that's pretty much the big games. The late night slate is an embarrassment. I hate when it's a bad late night slate because I love chasing on the late night. But too bad. All right. Best of luck, everybody. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. Tune in. Will be like mid-Sunday night football. You'd rather listen to us than Chris Collinsworth and Mike Tirico, I'm sure. So, or Al Michaels, I guess. All right. Let's try to take one down. If one of y'all wins, best of luck to you. I hope you do. If I can't win, I hope you do, because that means I was fairly decently correct here. So good luck, everybody. Y'all have a good day. Oh, hang on. Sorsby, Taylor Green for me. I don't trust Trinidad Chambliss. I think a lot of people are going Trinidad Chambliss. I'm going Sorsby and Taylor Green personally. I'm higher on Sorsby than most. I think most people are higher on Chambliss. I think there is a world where King is not needed in this game. I don't play cash though, mainly because if I put together a cash team, it's literally going to be exactly the same as the Establish the Run guys and the Roto Grinders guys. I did it for 5 weeks to start last year, and I think we had one player different at most any given week, and it just wasn't worth it because half the field was playing exactly what I was playing. It was a 1v1 most of the time, and it wasn't profitable for me. I was more profitable in tournaments than I was in cash, if that gives you an idea. So NFL, I play cash because there's a lot of fish, and they're easy to just destroy. So, all right, guys, y'all have a good one. Enjoy the games today. That's for sure.